In this episode, Alan and Charlotte visit a place called Unoha, located in the northeast of their residence. They travel there by horse-drawn carriage for 3 hours. The weather is bright and perfect for a long journey, allowing them to enjoy the beautiful scenery. The day before, Alan had chosen a book for Charlotte. This book contains information about the land where Charlotte currently resides. Charlotte spent the whole night reading it, and the exciting content made her lose track of time. Apparently, getting lost in a book until losing track of time is considered a mischievous act, especially in this busy era. The book narrates the Athena Academy of Magic, the school attended by Alan and Aluka. Additionally, it describes various places in this land. Alan asks Charlotte to choose a place that intrigues her. Although Charlotte is curious about many places, she has to make a choice. She inquires about Alan's plans after this. Surprisingly, Alan plans to take her sightseeing the next morning. However, Charlotte doesn't want to trouble Alan too much. She sincerely expresses her preference for spending time with Alan right here. Alan is amazed by her words but doesn't mind. He just wants Charlotte to experience things she hasn't before. Therefore, occasionally, Alan wants to travel far with Charlotte, enjoying local cuisine, visiting tourist spots, lounging in an inn all day, or even going to hot springs. Alan asks again about the place Charlotte chooses, but she won't reveal it. Alan then considers using a death spell to make Charlotte disclose her choice, but she firmly opposes it. Suddenly, the door opens and Maich arrives with a package for both of them. The company gave them an envelope containing a travel package to Unoha for 2 people, Alan and Charlotte. That's how Alan and Charlotte ended up going to Unoha. The horse-drawn carriage they ride traverses vast grasslands with many sheep grazing. The beautiful scenery captivates Charlotte. It's her first time seeing such a wide and flat landscape, unlike the mountainous regions of the Nake's kingdom where she previously resided. Charlotte recalls being trapped in a horse-drawn carriage while escaping from the Niels kingdom, and she didn't get to enjoy the scenery during that journey. Alan informs her that this is a rural area, so there are no Niels kingdom pursuers around, allowing Charlotte to feel calm and relaxed. Charlotte smiles, pleased to be able to travel without having to disguise her appearance. She asks if Alan is sure about traveling with her alone and why he didn't invite Aluka. Alan explains that Aluka has urgent matters to attend to and assumes she's investigating the Niels kingdom on behalf of her older brother. Unbeknownst to them, Aluka and Maich are falling behind on horseback. This journey is orchestrated by Aluka and assisted by Maich, who exchanged the charity envelope for a travel and gift package. Aluka's idea for this trip to the hot springs is to bring Alan and Charlotte closer, as she perceives some awkwardness between them. The place they were heading to was getting closer, a new 3-star inn in the Unoha region. Charlotte pointed out to Alan that this place was in the book she read the previous night. It's a popular spot, not just for the hot springs. They have local dishes, massage spots, and much more. Alan suspected that perhaps this was the place Charlotte desired. Charlotte's face turned red, and she replied yes. Naturally, Alan realized Charlotte was lying. Charlotte was surprised, wondering how Alan knew she was lying. Alan then took the book and opened it, wanting to guess which place Charlotte truly desired. However, Charlotte quickly grabbed the book and forbade him from guessing. Charlotte felt embarrassed because the place she desired was something a child would want. Alan commented that it's quite fun to try out things as an adult that couldn't be done as a child. That's also considered mischief. Alan hugged Charlotte and whispered that upon hearing the place she wanted to visit, he wouldn't laugh. Charlotte could tell him anytime, and he would accompany her whenever she wanted. They arrived at an inn. They were warmly welcomed by the resort staff. Alan handed the travel package envelope to the resort attendant. Their room was ready for them. Luckily, the hot springs were still quiet, and Alan and Charlotte couldn't wait to enjoy them. They followed the resort staff. Suddenly, Charlotte tripped and fell into Alan's arms. At that moment, the resort attendant thanked them for choosing this inn for their honeymoon destination. Both Alan and Charlotte were taken aback. They quickly clarified that they weren't a couple. Alan was puzzled as to why the resort attendant said that. The attendant showed them the travel package contents, which clearly stated it was a honeymoon package for married couples. Immediately, Alan realized that Maich had set him up. Alan had tried to cancel a honeymoon package, but the resort attendant whispered that the package provided was the most luxurious and might make Charlotte happy. From behind, Mayacha and Aluka cheered gleefully, seeing Alan reluctantly agree to the honeymoon package choice. Alan and Charlotte followed the resort attendant, receiving a welcoming drink. The straws of their drinks were heart-shaped, giving off a romantic vibe when enjoyed with a partner. From a distance, Aluka eagerly anticipated seeing her older brother share a drink intimately with Charlotte. Stupidly, Alan quickly finished his drink alone, not daring to share it with Charlotte. They reached the hot spring facility. The water here was still very natural, pumped directly from underground. The open-air bath was popular because of its direct view of the sea. Looking out at the sea, Alan's anxieties seemed to melt away. The resort attendant asked if they had brought swimsuits since the place was a mixed open bath requiring swimwear. Both Alan and Charlotte were taken aback. They hadn't prepared them. The attendant offered to escort Charlotte to the swimsuit rental. There, Charlotte could choose from various cute swimsuits. As Alan waited for Charlotte to change, he surveyed the area. Despite the attendant's earlier claim that it was quiet, there were many visitors. He began pondering how he would react upon seeing Charlotte in her swimsuit. He needed to keep his composure. He'd heard Charlotte's footsteps and, upon seeing her, tried to calm himself down. But when he turned, he was stunned by Charlotte in a peach-colored swimsuit, looking incredibly attractive, causing Alan's heart to skip a beat. Mayacha and Aluka observed Alan's reaction, laughing and admitting it was too tempting for him. Charlotte asked if the swimsuit suited her. Trying to maintain his composure and avoid looking directly, Alan said it looked quite good on her. Charlotte complimented Alan's swim trunks, saying they looked good too. Alan took Charlotte's hand, leading her to enjoy the typical mischiefs done at hot springs. They indulged in spa massages, water slides, tennis, shooting games, and even soaked in the hot springs while enjoying the evening sea view. Both Charlotte and Alan felt so comfortable and at ease, wishing they could stay forever. From afar, Mayacha and Aluka eagerly awaited the mischief the two would get into. But all Alan and Charlotte did was relax. It was Charlotte's first time enjoying a hot spring, and she was deeply grateful to Alan. A resort attendant brought Alan's order, and Charlotte inquired about it. It was a special ice cream, a typical treat at hot springs, enjoying cold ice cream while soaking in warm water. Alan used his magic, immortal ice, ensuring the ice cream wouldn't melt in the hot spring. Charlotte joyfully devoured the treat, and Alan was pleased to see her enjoy it. Aluka and Mayacha looked disappointed. The only mischief Alan introduced was having ice cream by the side. He was too restrained. Seeing Charlotte enjoy the ice cream, all the children in the bath wanted some too. Eating ice cream in the warm spring instantly became a trend. A father approached Alan, requesting the immortal ice magic for his child's ice cream. Alan happily obliged, enchanting all the ice creams. The joyous reactions echoed around, making everyone cheer. In the evening, Alan and Charlotte had dinner at the inn's restaurant. The resort waiter expressed gratitude because, thanks to Alan, ice cream sales had tripled that day. Especially with the immortal ice magic Alan provided, a simple thank you might not be enough. Alan smiled, considering it just regular magic and not a big deal. Charlotte praised Alan as the greatest wizard. The resort attendant asked if they had plans for the next day and recommended diving spots, beaches, and hills to see Fenrir, a majestic monster known to avoid conflicts. Legend said catching a glimpse of Fenrir would bring luck. However, it was currently Fenrir's breeding season, so it rarely descended from the mountains. But if they were interested in things related to monsters, the resort attendant suggested the Yunoha Magical Zoo. After dinner, they went to their room, which was spacious with a sea view. They were shocked to see the bed decorated with honeymoon-themed flower petals. Outside the door, Aluka and Mayach eavesdropped on their commotion with a stethoscope. Mayach suspected something might happen since there was only one bed in the room. Initially, Alan wanted to change rooms, but the resort attendant explained the bed was specially crafted by the Dreamweaver race, allowing sleepers to choose their dreams. At least, Alan and Charlotte should try it for one night. After turning off the lights, they lay down. Alan admired the room's comfort and the soft pillows. He asked Charlotte if she had decided on her dream. Charlotte wished to dream of her late mother, missing her and remembering the nights they shared. Alan cast a light sleep spell, and as Charlotte bid him goodnight, she closed her eyes and drifted off. Later, Alan woke up and realized his spell had worked effectively. He gazed at Charlotte, noticing her steady breathing, radiant skin, curled eyelashes, and healthy lips. The sight made him feel uneasy, so he used a deadly down spell to calm himself. This spell also put Aluka and Mayich, who were outside, to sleep. The next morning, Alan asked Charlotte if she had pleasant dreams. Charlotte dreamt of meeting her mother and had a long chat with her, even mentioning a lot about Alan. Interestingly, Alan had also visited Charlotte's dream, overhearing all her conversations with her mother while lounging on a sofa. The resort attendant was surprised to see two people asleep outside Alan and Charlotte's room. The final scene showed a monster questioning if Alan could protect Charlotte.